Добрый день.
Hello, dear friends and viewers. I would like to thank the Sberbank leadership for giving me the opportunity to participate in this great conference. And while choosing the topic for this presentation and sending it 10 days ago to the organizing committee, I couldn't know that this will be there will be a president's talk on the main panel, and the, the talk by the president has persuaded me that this topic is absolutely the one that is needed, and it's evolution of the society from informational 4.0 to superintellectual 5.0. What I mean by that is the society where the natural intelligence of a human and artificial intelligence of the machine work together to create synergies. With regards to the logo, we will talk about it a bit later. Of course, the setup of this society depends on the level of technical progress. You can enjoy it looking at the hunter society, agricultural society, industrial society, informational society, and super intellectual society that I'm going to talk about. Even the hunters' society had its conflicts, and Thomas More has called it the sheep ate the humans. It was about the fight for the land between the sheep and the people. Luddites that were breaking the machines during the first industrial revolution because they were ridding them of their workplaces. We need to remember that. And if we talk about our second industrial revolution, when we had electric energy engines and conveyors, we saw Charlie Chaplin as that small role the person can play in that society. And it is often said that the role of a human is decreasing in producing the goods, and the machines were replacing humans. And if we talk about the informational society, Orwell wrote his 1984 explaining and showing that Big Brother that was watching, and this scenario is something that is very hard for humans to very negative for humans. The humans disappear in that informational space, and the role of a human decreases. You don't see it behind the virtual images. And somehow, maybe it was a coincidence, during the pandemic, we saw the role of a human growing. People started playing a huge role in creating the IP objects. And with the modern production, the people create more value and more goods. So the question is, where do we move? Where are we going? What is the picture? What is the portrait of the society defined by the Industry 4.0 with AI, the robots, additive technologies, quantum computers, biotechnologies, and many other things? There are different points of view, of course, and mine is optimistic. I have formed it based on my own understanding and based on many different sources from literature. Of course, I was significantly affected by the lectures of Narisaga Naimura from Mitsubishi Electric in our university, and I was very much touched by those ideas. So what are those technological aspects of these Society 5.0? So Society 5.0 is organizing how people think, how people work, how they work together with the intellectual systems. And this collaboration actually needs to be taken into account and discussed separately. So besides just digitization of things, we need to start thinking semantic networks, intellectual systems. And an important part here is that dark matter of AI, which is the common sense. If the person has that common sense, the AI still doesn't have it. So common sense intelligence is something extremely valuable and very much needed for the human to AI collaboration. And to highlight these things, AI is not always a good thing. Henry Marcus has fooled the deep learning neural net that was creating texts, quite good texts about Brexit for newspapers. So he put in something like, if you put the wood in the oven and throw a match there, then it will light, right? Then the network replied something very strange and unobvious for the things that, so something that a person would definitely understand easily, the neural net can lack. And so creating the common sense interfaces is an important thing. So if we talk about equality in the Industry 5.0, you are getting less dependent on things, and the person becomes self-sufficient. So also we see significant growth in the people's competencies and the reduced lifespan of those competencies. When I was receiving my education, it was said that you need to receive the education for your whole life, right? Currently, the paradigm of learning is lifelong learning. It cannot be something that you do once. You need to improve during your whole life. And one of the challenges that you can see in this slide is the lack of qualified people, especially in the AI. Important topic where you need to rethink a lot. And it's a huge problem. And of course, when I talk about the bureaucracy, the smart society, I mean smart in the way that it relies on AI. So when the human AI is improved and augmented by the artificial intelligence. So Society 5.0 is the in essence, the collaboration or interaction between those two intelligences to ensure the growth of value. The actor term used in sociology, politology, and many other things. In my opinion, actor is the creator that makes something to ensure something happens or something is being created. The question is whom we need to prepare. This is a dialectical question. We definitely need to create creators or create actors, and to do this we need to rethink a lot of what we do. I work in higher education, and for us it's an important thing. You need to uncover the talents, you need to ensure personalized approach, and We do a lot here in Samara, in Korolev's University. We've launched 3 labs in Artec for AI, for space, and for IT. We work with Sirius Educational Center regarding the space, and there's a lot going on in providing different devices with AI. So I have something to offer Sberbank. On the 3rd of December, we've had final results of the contest for scientific activity, and our center in Samara, created by the governor Azarov, this center has become an inter-industry and inter-regional center. So I would like to offer the leadership of Sberbank to become partners with this center. So here's the logo that I offer. It has 2 senses. First, it is human as an actor and is a human factor. First of all, we usually say that human factor is because something is broken or something has failed, but in the new society, in the Industry 4.0, the human becomes the main focus, and this term, human factor, becomes positive or even the main one in all that is going on in this all new social paradigm. What are the projects that we could launch in such a lab? Some of them are already going on. For example, with our educational programs, we even need sometimes to start with education, right? So, and even with schools, defining the educational tracks, educational trajectories for each and every person. And a lot has been done here in terms of the educational tracks. Samara's leadership has dedicated 10 million rubles to those 4 or 5 educational programs aimed at digitization of medicine, government, and digital technologies in agriculture. So those programs will be aimed at retraining or improving the education of more than 10,000 people. And all those projects by our educational center for engineering of the future, they are infused with AI because this is the main technology of this area. Coming back to the influence of progress on the society, I'd like to conclude my presentation by a quote that the leading role in the new digital era belongs to the human. With all the capabilities that are brought to the table by the IT, its usage, to the good or to the bad, depends solely on human. And exactly this thing was the central one in what Vladimir Putin, our president, has said yesterday. I have a question. Thank you indeed for the presentation, and it was a pleasure to listen to you. So the question is, will we come to a state when stopping the development, stopping the growth, will be better, because technological singularity can be negative for the humanity. So whether we need to achieve it or not is a question. answer. Yes, this question is outside of my comprehension. This is a bit of metaphysics, and we can talk about some historical examples, like Franz Josef never using an elevator or never using the phone. And individually, you can make such choice, but unfortunately, or fortunately, the society is a huge thing, and there's a collective conscious. So the society will not stop developing. It will continue improving. That's my opinion. Thank you, Victor. We will keep growing together.